Hi there! Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the lurk, Johnny. I'm actually lurking in some other people's channels. It's a little silly, I guess. But here we go. Gonna go live. Gonna do some main store request and then figure out what all these they have over. Two-tone. Alrighty, here we go. Let's go speak with Alice. Over here. Go. Black mage is level 71. Next we will level up white mage, I hope. Maybe we'll swap actually. Boop, 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 boop. Can I fly over there? Can we be convenient? Yeah. Woohoo! Griffining on over. And whenever I ride the Griffins, it makes me think of Log Horizon. Ooh, up here. Down here. Alrighty, alrighty. Do. I want to do some stuff. Alright. I just tried to call Oriange on his link pearl. He didn't respond, but I dare to hope that he possesses some knowledge we do not. It's hard to hear what voices I'm doing. Headphones on. Ah, Oriange. Something happened during the meeting. Thancred's collapsed. A disembodied voice suddenly started... What? But that's... We should talk about this in person. Alright, we'll meet you there. That was Oriange. He heard the voice too. Uh-oh. In Thanalan? As we alone were afflicted at the meeting, I had my suspicions. But if the voice also spoke to Oriange, there can be little doubt. The scions were targeted specifically. By whom and to what end is the question. One to which we must find an answer with all possible haste. Oops, we swap. Oh no, that's fine. I got endure. Alice is eager to rendezvous with Oriange. Oriange agreed to meet us at the Rising Stones. If any of the others heard the voice, we'll find out soon enough. Good luck. I should get back to the meeting with the Elder Seedseer. But if there's anything I can do, anything at all, you must let me know, alright? Promise me. Will do, Lise. We'll let you know stuff. I hope. Bye, Kamisana. Right, let's be on our way. Okie dokie. Hi, Guild Mage. Whee, cutscenes. Pink hair. In the Rising Stones. Dun.
Oriange! God, it's good to see you.
Would that our meeting were under happier circumstances. I judged the voice sufficient cause for concern even before you sent word of its effect on our comrade.
You heard it too, then?
What is my mic picking up? Should not be picking up anything. I'm not talking.
Who do you think is responsible? Could this be the Ascians doing?
That I cannot say. Not when so little is known. Ere I indulge in speculation, I would examine Thancred with mine own eyes.
Mysteries. Also, what? Microphone. Webcam. What noise are you picking up? My computer noise? It's like convinced. Weird. Ah, weird. I don't know. You should not be active. It should just be the camera. I don't know. Oh god, what have I done to you, computer? I've confused you. Why does OBS sometimes glitch FF and sometimes not? I don't know. Okay. Please let me know if background noise is too much from my mic.
To Alamigo then, without further delay.
We go.
One other thing. During my visit to the Far East, I observed a strange phenomenon.
Thou referrest, I presume, to the localized reduction in etheric density.
Yes.
Well, that spares me the trouble of an explanation. Yes, I noted precisely that at two apparently unconnected locations. I take it the phenomenon is not limited to the Far East.
Problems?
Indeed not. Of late, our agents charged with surveilling the beast tribes have spoken of little else. In every corner of the realm, they tell of places in which the ether hath grown thin.
That's not good. I'm good. Don't prove that.
Naturally, my suspicions first turned to primal activity, but the areas thus affected betray no evidence of summoning. I must confess to being quite perplexed.
If the same phenomenon is being observed in multiple locations on opposite sides of the world, we may safely discount regional factors. Needless to say, this warrants further investigation.
Yeah.
Indeed, I shall make it my task to... The voice. It calleth to me once more.
Excuse you. Give me my Urianger. Excuse me. Can you stop ganking my friends? No. Don't approve.
Only you.
Gracie.
Only you.
No!
Okay, what is this? It's
Ishtola!
not only me if you're targeting all my
Urianger!
friends.
Throw wide the gates. Ominous.
No. No, this can't be happening!
Do I have more unconscious friends? Yo, you need to chill, mysterious voice. What is with that?
Y'shtola! Urianger! Open your eyes!
We're traumatizing the child, guys.
Open your eyes, I beg you!
Flash flood warning.
Say
Thanks,
something.
phone.
Anything!
Yikes.
Not again. Please, not again.
It'll be okay. I mean, I don't actually know if it'll be okay. Because I don't know what's happening. There's gotta be something we can do. What can we do, me? Let's go. Yeah, right? Ishtala's amazing. She's so cool. I like her lots. But this is a problem. Can we... Hello, Hori Boulder. You want anything for me? This is an unprecedented predicament for the Scions, but we must remain strong. The least of us most of all. I forgot that you have ab armor. Ariel, it cannot be discounted that Mistress Kryl has heard the voice as well. I will ask Kataru to send her word of what has come to pass. Thank you! Kryl is super smart. With Moonbreeder gone. Yeah. She's our science. Forgive me, that was an unseemly display. It happened before your very eyes, my lady. None here would have behaved any differently. We have borne the two of them to a private chamber, but tell me, is it true that Master Thancred languishes in a like state in Alamigo? I'm afraid so. Though, given the circumstances, it would seem best to observe them together. I will send word to Lys that he should be brought here. Take heart, my lady. The world is full of scholars and knowledgeable folk of every persuasion. Someone out there is bound to know what ails our comrades and how it may be cured. Thus we will rouse them. Will we rouse them, no matter what? I hope so. That we will, Hori. That we will. But first things first, our comrades will have questions. May I ask that you explain the situation to them? I must attend to a private matter. Oh right, your brother is still missing in a war zone. I'm sorry, Alizé. I'm sorry. Oh, I promised I'd visit someone in Nimsalominsa. He's been waiting at Maelstrom Command for a while now. You know, you should come along too. I think he'd be glad to see you. Who it? Who it? Who it? Who it? What character from the past am I going to re-encounter? Okie dokie. Well, I don't like friends collapsing, but like they're not dead. Like they have health. So hopefully we're alright. Hopefully. Oh no. Oh, what is this bag? Oh, this is if I had more seasonal tokens, I think. Right? Oh, I like your hat. Welcome to Sundry Splendors. Oh, this is, stuff. I can get stuff here. This is old stuff, though. This is more like aesthetics. Oh yeah, I remember the cool headgear. Yeah, makes you look sciencey. Yeah, no, we're not gonna get that right now. That's not worth buying with these points. Thunder. Ruh-roh. Is there lightning? I hear thunder. If there's lightning, maybe I should stop playing. Not that I've been playing very long. But, you know, nature. It happens. Nature happens. I'm wrong. How do I... Ack. This is me forgetting what level things are on. No, that's the wrong way. Ay, ay. Oh, I could have just zip-zorped over to this little aetherite. Alright, we're gonna go back over here and we're gonna use the Aether network because that's why that exists. So that in the confusing Ocean Treehouse city, I don't have to figure things out. I mean, I don't think it's actually a treehouse, but it kind of has that treehousey vibe, but it's all stone and oceany and lots and lots and lots of layers. See. It's those like stone pillars near the ocean thing going on. As you've probably guessed, it's Gabu we've come to see. The private here will bring him out to us. Ever since the Maelstrom took him in, I've tried to visit as often as I can. And after what befell our friends, I was taken by the urge to visit again. It's difficult to explain. Is he okay? Gabu. You have a very fun name. Hi, friend!
Here he is, my lady.
Okay.
Gaboo, it's been too long.
What you know talking? Little friendy?
I'm afraid there's been no change. If he can see or hear us, he has given no sign.
I don't remember
I
what
see.
happened to you.
You're still fighting.
Oh, he got tempered, didn't he?
I'm proud of you.
He was a little friend, though. Tempered's like when an elemental being tries to control
We
your
promised that we would come and
ringleaders.
visit you together, didn't we? Alphino and I. I'm sorry that we haven't managed that yet.
I mean, things keep exploding.
You know, with the three of us like this, does it not remind you of that night? Of the stars beyond count twinkling in the heavens? I was feeling pretty low back then. Powerless. But I knew that my brother was close by if I needed him, and that the others would be waiting for me back at the Rising Stones. Not like now.
I'm here, but
I've seen my
it's
share
true.
of trouble since coming to Eorzea. Been reminded again and again of my limitations, of how little I can change about this world. And I've come to know the sorrow of parting all too well. But to have the people I hold dear struck down before my eyes, and be powerless to help them, that I cannot bear.
You don't have to bear this burden alone. I'm here. You're not alone.
No, I don't. You're right. It's pure arrogance to imagine I can solve everything by myself. You'd think I'd have learned that by now. Thank you. I don't know what I'd do without you. Well, that's more than enough brooding for one day. Come on. We have friends to save.
Yeah. Kaboo. What? Your words are still gone? Oh. Sealed. Well. Ooh, a lot of HP person. Let's return to the Rising Stones and take it from there. Okay. Thanks again for agreeing to come. It meant a lot to me. Are we just teleporting back and forth? Are we doing that again? Ah, da da. Nope. Oh, yes. Teleport. No, don't use tickets. These are the tickets that let me get free, but, like, it's silly to use them unless it's expensive. I think. No, the bard is another mission for me. That'll unlock hard modes of things. We tell him a story. A wondrous tale is on the lips of every adventurer in this tavern, the details of which I can scarce believe. They say within the rusting relic which straddles the Thaliac, a hero met with a company of warriors wrought from solid steel. Yeah. We did that. Maybe I should speed you up a little. Yeah. Aha! I rather thought it might be you. And you say you crossed swords with those dread automata? Splendid. Tell me everything. Let me hear the sounds of battle echoing through the giant's iron innards. You're serious business, mister. Ooh, I have a beep boop. Your story stirs my muse from her slumber. To think that the goblins would contrive mechanical soldiers that could themselves combine to form a veritable walking fortress, and within a walking fortress no less. The tales of my boyhood were not half as fascinating. Okay, who's beep booping me? Your tale reminds me of another. That of the three great kings, Alexander, Midas, and Gordius, whose names must by now seem rather familiar. Covetous to the core, they spent their lives in a fever of conquest, never for a moment satisfied with their lot. That an ambulating paradise of wisdom and erudition should honor their memory is curious indeed. I could only assume that the genius who conceived it was possessed of a wicked sense of humor. Oh, a story so steeped in myth could scarce fail to stir the spirit of song within me. Lend me your ear, friend, that I might regale you with the tale of your own adventure. And you unlock some kind of mode. In the giant's iron innards the goblins did toil, through sunrise and sunset intruders to foil, till the limb of their longing did chance to awake, a path for our weariless hero to make. And thus did he aim for the beast's second heart, cleaving both it and its keepers apart. So fun. Yet in spite of his triumph, the goblins all laughed, and by means lost to meaning in victory basked. Yea, the giant of steel was far more than it seemed, with power beyond knowing, potential ungleamed. And thus was our hero compelled to withdraw, resolved to return and do battle once more. How does my friend do it? Nice. There, a courageous struggle rendered in the naive style, recalling the fantastical tales of youth. But tell me true, did I capture the spirit of your journey? I took certain liberties, of course. But then such poems must do more than simply portray an event. They must tantalize the senses and stimulate the imagination. The hymn of battle is as old as time itself, but sung from the heart it can inspire even the meekest soul to greatness. How do I think the poem will end? I was hoping you might tell me. Suffice it to say, I very much look forward to finding out. Boop. Alright. Does that unlock a thing? Probably. One sec. Did that unlock, I wish it told me new. Oh well. We'll do some more main story quests and worry about you later, Mr. Minstrel. I only have so much brain cell. Boop boop doop. Alice. I did some thinking on the way back, and I think Hori is right. We need to seek outside help. Ordinarily, we would turn to our own experts on such matters, but they're both among the stricken. I will begin by reaching out to the myriad guilds and research institutions here in Eorzea. Additionally, Grandfather and Minfilia had a wealth of connections between them, and I mean to explore those avenues too. We'll find a way to save everyone, mark my words. Much and more has happened in recent days. Some of it for the good, some not so. But all around me, people continue their fight. From the shinobi who search for Alphino, to the Alliance members who make ready to move against the Empire. They march on in the face of great adversity, bearing heavy burdens. Everyone is playing their part, and so must I. You have your own part to play, I know, and it's bigger than most, so I won't keep you. Just promise that you'll visit from time to time, and I promise I'll have good tidings to share with you when you do. Talk to me, what happened? Okay, maybe I should actually give you time to, do things. Is there another cutscene? Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace. What's happening? Give me information that I have no way to know in game. Meta knowledge. Mr. Bustle Armor. Hello, Yandere.
The Populares no longer present an obstacle. Now is the time to bring the Empire's might to bear. A word from your Radiance is all it takes. But one word, and the Imperial army will fall upon Alamigo as a pack of bloodthirsty wolves and tear that feeble nation apart.
Oh, heck off. You're such a pooper. Even being somebody's meat puppet. Ass you.
Have you no words for me? Despite the lengths I go to, an emissary playing the part of a fool. When first I took this face, I swore to use all of my knowledge, all of my power, to further the cause of the Empire. My deeds stand testament to my commitment. And with this adamant flesh at my disposal, I could destroy the Icon Slayer as easily as one might swat a fly. Why do you hesitate? Our enemy is resourceful. Though victory is certain now, it will not remain so indefinitely. Deliberate if you must, but be quick about it. We'll speak again when you have unburdened yourself of doubt. Until then, I take my leave, Father.
I should be the one to sigh. I played my part to perfection. I had earned my rest, and then thanks to La Habrea's crowning act of idiocy, our favorite emissary sees fit to summon me back. Elidibus was ever a warrior. A most tiresome trait, would you not agree?
Ooh, this wanker. I should probably rewatch some old cutscenes.
Have you no words for me either? No matter. I've long grown weary of this mummery. Now, my dearest grandson, let me remind you of your place in the simplest of terms. You do not make judgments, you administer them.
Wait.
Swiftly and to the letter. Naught else is your concern.
How long have the Asians been driving the Empire? Y'all are driving
Elidibus
the
may be
shitty
an
bus.
insufferable bore, but he is no fool. His choices as emissary seldom err. If aught threatens the balance twixt light and dark, it falls to you to remove it. Be it by your own hands or by your armies, you have ample means at your disposal. That is why this empire exists, why I built it. Oh dear, have I touched a nerve? You always were an easy one to read. I pity you, I do.
As they say, ignorance is bliss. And I know how much happier you would be not knowing the things you know.
The Founding Father was an Ascian, and he created the Empire solely for the purpose of sowing the seeds of chaos.
What?
Don't take it personally. I merely do my duty. To bring about a calamity requires no small amount of power. And there is no surer way to obtain such power than by collecting powerful pawns. To that end, I have labored long and hard, and I must say I am quite pleased with my handiwork, paltry though it seems in comparison to Alag.
Okay. This is the first time I meet this character. You just shot your jerk butt grandpa Allagan Ascian.
You fiends
Is that even gonna work?
overfond of your own voices.
Won't he just get back up?
Mark me, Ascian. Man is the master of his own destiny.
Okay. I still don't like you, Emperor, but if you've been dealing with these butt faces, I guess that explains some things.
Such a waste of time and energy. Both yours and mine.
Rude.
Lest you forget, you are Emperor now. If you wish to spout drivel about man's destiny, save it for the masses. It will serve to give them a sense of purpose, and you pliant pieces for the game. Oh, do stop sulking, boy. You, of all people, should understand. Ours is a struggle to restore both mankind and the world to their rightful state. Viewed thus, our goals are one and the same.
You're all just a nation before journey, and I think you're full of poop. Yeah, I feel that, Mr. Emperor. I agree with that grumpy face. Never thought I'd say I'd agree with the Emperor of the Garleans, but here we are. This is the life we're living. Meanwhile, at a resistance encampment somewhere within the Empire. Boop. Made a yarn ball while we were waiting. Hey, Alphino! I knew you were alive. I had that cutscene where we saved your butt. Well, I mean these people who I don't know who they are. What in the world? They're all boom. That's no bueno. Is everybody dead? Or are they all sleepies? Oh, their eyes are all whited out. Are they sleepies like Dankred and Ishtola? How does the voice target? Dead. All dead. Yet I see no wounds, nor any evidence of battle. So dead, not sleepies. What happened? Healing's no work? Damn them. They finally used it. Used what? The Empire developed an alchemical weapon in Garabanya, a gas. Black Rose, it was called, and to breathe it is to breathe your last. Oh. That's no bueno. And that did this. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. I thought the project abandoned and its vile fruit destroyed, but naught else could have wrought such an atrocity. So much for a safe place for Alpha, no. And also those people. Sorry, people. Can we stop zooming in on the lady? Fools! What do they hope to gain with this butchery? Can they not see that a rule won through terror will not endure? How many more provinces must they lose? Oh, we're all going by the assumption that they're actually trying to build the Empire versus the Asian's goal of just chaos and bloodshed. Asians are butts. They're butts. B-U-T-T-S. No, wait. This is not the work of men but monsters, the Asians. It cannot be a coincidence that their trail led us here. Their objective was never to rule, but to sow strife and discord. Oh, well, someone's genre savvy. It's not me. Oh, such a crime does indeed bear the mark of the bringers of chaos. Black Rose cannot be allowed to kill again. We must find the Asians and put an end to their plot. Do the punchings. We got to get a third eye. Which I thought were bindies at first. Way back when I started playing this game, I was like, why do all the Garleans have bindies? And then they called them a third eye, and I realized that they don't come off. Yup. Oh, tight. That was a cutscene. History of Violet. What? Tell me things. Nope. Okay. Alice, upset. Cutscenes. So many cutscenes.
I'm glad you've come, though I'm afraid there's little in the way of good news.
Ah, poo.
After you left, we reached out to both the Alchemists Guild and Stillglade Fane and attempted all manner of treatments. But the results were always the same. Whatever the answer is, it's not alchemy or conjuring. Why did it have to be Y'shtola and Urianger and not me? Out of all of us, they are the ones who could feasibly have solved this puzzle. And Elfino's still missing. God, it's all going wrong. Where do we even start?
A grave situation indeed. Might I be of some assistance?
Cryo! Thank you.
Cryle! I did not think you well enough to travel.
When word reached me of the plight of our friends, I could not well stay away. As a fellow scion, not to mention your erstwhile mentor, this is one of those times you should feel free to call on me, regardless of my personal circumstances.
Yes, I should have thought of that.
Senpai noticed you.
Thank you for coming, Cryle. We would welcome your insight.
And I should be happy to provide it. Now, what's this I hear about Alphino heading into Imperial territory? That boy always did have some funny ideas. Do you remember the speech he gave when he was accepted to the Studium?
My life's goal is naught less than the salvation of this star.
That particular grand pronouncement has been a source of great embarrassment to him, as you know. But the fact of the matter is, he meant every word and has lived his life accordingly.
Yes, he remains altruistic to a fault. But I'm worried he was too fixated on his goals to see the dangers, as has happened before.
You needn't be so concerned. Though his values remain the same, Alphino is not the blinkered boy he once was. Slowly but surely his eyes have been opened. thanks to a certain someone. A certain someone whom he'd be mortified to learn had heard about his little speech. Mum's the word, eh? Right, I'd better have a look at our patients. They're in the infirmary, I assume. I'll need absolute quiet, so it would be best if I did this alone. If you'll excuse me.
Feedy dingle, waiting's hard. Feedy's dingling.
All three are in fine physical health. At a glance, I would say they were merely sound asleep. Except for the fact that I couldn't sense the slightest trace of them in their bodies. It's as if their souls have taken leave of their physical forms.
Ah, yes. The Elder Seedseer made a similar observation.
I've read the report. When you heard this mysterious voice, you described feeling as if you were somewhere else, yes?
Yeah.
If we assume the ether which comprises your essence is being drawn to some other place, then it may be possible to follow the trail it leaves behind, just as we did in our search for Thancred.
Ooh, when he got yanked by
I wasn't around for
Alcian.
that, but I can't imagine it was easy.
Oh, it wasn't. But that's no reason not to try. I will have need of Master Matoya's crystal eye if I'm even to make the attempt. So I suggest we pay her a visit.
Okay. Welp. Got some big news. Oh. Well, no. First we will talk to... Oh, are we gonna be there anyway? Yeah, Idleshire. No use free ticket. We going... Yeah! I have a very deep voice in this game. It makes me happy. And yeah, I know it's a little ridiculous, but it is what I did. It is what I did. Oh, can I like zoom out to the outdoors? Western hinterlands? Shoot. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because I can just fly. Please go to the Western hinterlands. Now we shall fly. I guess I might as well turn in that quest, since we got to do the flying anyway. I'm gonna fly on my pretty puppy. Sparkly puppy. Me and my sparkle puppy are flying along. Yay, sparkle puppy. So sparkly. So true. Done. Talk to you. Light kicks, eyes fixed. Score! Light fixed stands guard over a giant of whirly cogs. None shall pass. Complete Woohoo! Savage mode. Cool. Thanks to the poetical outpourings of the wandering minstrel, you can now relive your foray into Midas. Cool. Who will be summoned by Rando Roulette? Yay, shiny puppy. I really like this music. Toya's and then down lows. Alice, Kyle. Hi, Kyle. Please do keep Alphino's little speech to yourself. He can be awfully sensitive at times. As they say. I'd heard Master Matoya was something of a recluse, but this seems extreme. Still, I'll happily overlook her eccentricities if she agrees to help us. Akidaki. Oh, I should have equipped the frog hat so I'd match her frog friendos. Oh well, it's fine. I don't need to be a frog. Hi, Matoya.
Come to disturb my peace again, have you? I hide myself away in a cave, and still you people insist on pestering me with your problems.
Ishtula got ganked. Sorry.
Oh, I mistook you for young what's-his-name, but I see now you're the sister. Weren't you supposed to be the lively one? I've seen happier faces at a rain-sodden burial.
Matoya.
Well, I'm sorry to dash your expectations, but the situation isn't exactly conducive to gaiety.
Ooh. Saucy.
Ha! That's more like it. Stoller used to spit and hiss like a wildcat too. Better for a young thing like you to be filled with fire and leave the doom and gloom to your elders.
Oh. Don't be depressed. Be
Now,
angry.
What exactly does this tragic situation of yours have to do with me?
If I may, Master Matoya, we have need of your crystal eye once more.
And Stoller is one of the afflicted, is she?
Yeah. Sorry.
Very well. She may be an ungrateful stray, but she's my ungrateful stray, and I'll not see her buried before I am.
Yeah. Tearing up at dumb moments is me. Sorry. Sorry to bring bad news, Toya. Matoya, sorry. Okay, Lily.
Right. Let us see what we can see. I'll begin from where our friends first fell and cast my senses out from there.
Do it. You got this. Shorty squad, go!
What is it? Did you find them?
This doesn't make sense. How is it even possible?
How is what possible? Kryl, what did you see?
The threads, they just ended. And no, I didn't lose track of them. I followed them as far as they went. It's as if they were cut off.
Could the ether have dissipated if it had? Oh gods! Their bodies are just husks. It's like the Broodmother's daughter all over again.
No, this is different. The Kalyana girl was already dead, body and soul, when Lakshmi effected her resurrection.
Aye, let's not jump to conclusions. If their physical forms yet breathe and show no signs of wasting, then it follows that their souls must still be intact somewhere.
But where?
That's the question, isn't it, girl? Death has not taken them to the ethereal sea, yet there are no tracks left for us to follow.
Yeah, that's weird.
We're no closer to an answer than when we started. But knowing their souls are still out there is progress of a sort. We just have to keep looking. Pray, excuse me a moment.
Information?
Yes? I remember, but... What, to Alamigo? We're on our way. That was Lise. Apparently, a group of Populares have defected to Alamigo, and Maxima, the envoy Alphino left with, is one of them. I'm sorry. I realize we've barely begun here, but...
Go, go, go.
Go, child, go! You've made up your mind, and life's too short for dithering.
I like Toya.
I'll do some digging in the meantime and see if there isn't some other method we could use to continue the search.
Let's be off then.
Oh, not again. The enchantment barely seems to take these days. I chalk it up to old age, but I rather doubt it's that simple.
Something's wrong with the ether. What is wrong with our ether? How do we fix it? Can we fix it? Yes, we can!
Before they took ill, Y'shtola and Urianger were sharing notes on a thinning of the ether. It seems to be happening all over.
Does it now? And here I was, all set to blame my woes on that creaking mountain of refuse clogging up the Thaliac. I fear something has gone awry. Still, there's naught to be gained from starting in shadows. You can only do what can be done, and that's but one thing at a time.
Okie dokie. Well, what the heck-a-ronies? What the heck-a-roni-ronies? Hiya. So that was the woman who tamed his shoulder. I had the distinct feeling of being grabbed by the scruff of the neck and having the nonsense shaken out of me. When Alphino is back, I'd like to visit again and ask her what tales she has of grandfather. Aww. I bet that would be a cute cutscene. Alright, Alice, let's go on an adventure. Speed. I almost can't bear to hear what Maxima has to tell us. But it can't be bad news, can it? Lise would have said. Unless... there's no point speculating. Lise said she'd notified the guards of our coming, so we should head straight to the palace gate in the Alamegan quarter. I'll be praying for good news. Learn what you can about Alphino's plight, and leave the search for our friends' lost souls to me. Okay, Cryle. Cryle, Alice. There are things happening. Flight. Yes. No. We go. We go. Shoo. And it'd be an interesting but thoroughly annoying challenge to someday be like, you must run everywhere. Take for frippin' ever. Woohoo! To the palace. Talk to the people. Hello. Greetings, Scions. The commander told me to expect you. Shall I show you in? Yes, please. Man, so much rain. I hear you, rain. I hear you. So much rain. Oh, don't care what this. Okay.
I'm sorry to drag you halfway across the realm, but when Maxima mentioned Alphino, I thought you'd want to hear the news in person.
Yeah.
Ah, we meet again. Though I was hoping our reunion would be under more auspicious circumstances.
What happened to my brother? Where is Alphino?
Yep, where is the goober?
Never fear, my lady. Your brother was in fine health when I took my leave of him, and I have no reason to assume that has changed.
You assume?
If you will allow me, I shall endeavor to explain events. Our troubles began not long after we departed Doma. While crossing the burn, we were fired upon by the Emperor's personal guard and forced to make an emergency landing. As we stumbled from the wreckage, our attackers fell upon us again, and we would have perished there and then were it not for the intercession of a third party, a band of mercenaries whose leader claimed to pursue a vendetta against the Ascians. This shadow hunter, as he styled himself, then escorted us out of the wastes to relative safety. Upon arriving back in civilization, I gathered my Populares colleagues and prepared to flee the Empire. Master Alphino, however, declined the invitation to join us, preferring to continue his investigation into the Ascian threat.
Well,
That's the boy.
at least he's not lying in a heap in the burn. Tell us more about these Ascian hunters. Who are they? And is Alphino still with them?
I would assume so.
He is. As to who they are, I'm afraid I have nothing to tell you. Beyond the fact that they root out and destroy Ascians, they were unwilling to divulge anything which might serve to identify them. They would not even reveal their next destination. But Master Alphino asked to accompany them all the same. Since parting company with your brother, we've been engaged in a game of cat and mouse with the Emperor's guard. We made our way through province after province, finding the army busy restoring order wherever we went, until we finally arrived here in Alamigo. I cannot thank Commander Aldin enough for giving us such an unexpectedly warm welcome.
I'm not inclined to turn away refugees, no matter which land they call home. And if they can tell me how things lie in Garlemald, all the better.
Good fella.
On that subject, there is much I would tell you. During the course of our journey, we heard tales that an entire rebel army had been slaughtered in the space of a single night. It would seem my former comrades grew tired of putting down uprisings in the conventional manner, and chose instead to bring a formidable new weapon to bear. Details were sparse, but the rumor alone was enough to dampen the flames of rebellion. I have also heard reports that several companies have withdrawn from their designated provinces and begun marching westward. It is my assessment that the Empire's forces are mobilizing for a large-scale military engagement.
Westward? You mean they're getting ready to invade Alamigo?
We knew this was coming, but not that it would be so soon.
We've barely even begun to shore up our defenses. They won't stop an invading army.
Yes.
No, they won't. Dispatch messengers to the Alliance leadership requesting reinforcements, and send word to our officers in the field to hasten completion of those border fortifications. Prepare to meet the Imperials head on!
Yes, sir.
No matter how quickly we act, we still want for time. When the enemy comes into view, our best recourse will be to open negotiations with their commander, and see that the ensuing proceedings take as long as possible.
Would you and Alize head to Doma and let Lord Hien know about this? I'm sure he'll want to hear about Alphino too.
Yes,
Consider it done. We'll send word when...
No, seriously, could you stop yelling in our heads?
Sorrow must be changed.
Working on it.
Ahead looms a calamity. Eon become instant. Throw wide the gates.
Could you chill? Got to make sure my friends don't all die first, yo.
You heard it too. Well, at least we're both still standing.
Yeah, but who isn't?
Oh, thank the gods. I thought we'd lost you for a moment there. Why does this keep happening?
I wish I knew. Nothing we've tried has brought us any closer to an answer. We'll keep working on it. But first, we need to go and see Lord Hien.
Oy vey. We're being psychically summoned. With great urgency. So Alphino is safe. For the present, at least. Now all we need to worry about is a full-scale Imperial invasion. Oh, I'm actually glad Lise tasked us with visiting Lord Hien. Better to be dashing from place to place than sitting around stewing over things we can't change. To the Enclave. Boop-doo. To the Enclave. Let's go. Boop. More teleporting. So much teleporting. Or McGearbles. So much teleporting. I just keep seeing the comment though. I didn't know Lalafell voices could be so deep. Yes, you can have the deepest of voices. Made a very short, very deep voiced little sunset fella. I mean, I don't know. I think I picked the skin tone because he was from Ul'dah and it was a desert setting and I was like, he should have deserty skin tone. And then the eyes were, I got really excited that I could have two-tone eyes. I see you have tidings for Lord Hien. May I show you in? Yeah. Yes, please. We must talk to Hien. Oh, gosh. There's a bunch of people here. Kojin! Hi.
We of the Blue Kojin will not submit to the Empire's tyranny. If only our red brethren would awaken to their folly.
I like them.
The Imperials have enjoyed the freedom of the Ruby Sea for long enough. 'Tis time they paid their dues.
Serena, after their humbling at your hands, Magnai and his Oranir have spent every waking moment upon the training fields. Defeat does not sit well with the sun and his children.
Ay, ay. The brattiest of brat fights. The fall of Rabanastre was not the end of our nation. We who survived retreated underground and have been gathering strength to mount a counter-offensive. Dalmasca will rise again.
I am come to represent the lands of Nagsha. Long have we struggled in defiance of the Empire, waiting for just such an opportunity as this alliance represents. Beep boop. Mr. Popper!
Alone and Doma could accomplish little against the Empire. But in concert with the allies who have gathered here today, we might do much.
Yay! You cutie? Jacobi, you have arrived in time to witness the beginnings of our new alliance. Our proposal struck a chord with many of our neighbors, I am pleased to say. Hey, Hien.
Tell me things. Please be good news.
Greetings, my friends. I was just discussing future endeavors. with the members of our newly formed alliance. Oh, cool. The cohesion in the Confederacy you already know, and it was your own strength of arms that won us the cooperation of the Steppe tribes. Ate. Cuisine. Turtles. We've also been joined by our neighbors from Nagsha, and the indomitable citizens of Dalmasca. The scattered nature of the latter's resistance will somewhat delay their official induction. Is Dalmasca the Final Fantasy XII game? These proud peoples have united under a single purpose, to stand against the tyranny of the Garlean Empire. Yeah. Resist. I'm glad to see our alliance is coming together so swiftly. As things stand, I fear we shall soon have need of your strength. Yup. Pork imperialism, seriously though. I say, from a very imperialist country. I thank you for bringing me news of Alphino. His fate is never far from my thoughts, and not only because he is our emissary. As for this sudden deployment of Imperial forces, I agree that Alamigo would be wise to show up its borders with all haste. Okay. Oh, I can click. Oh, never mind. Every report we receive from our shinobi indicates a massing of troops in the western provinces. It seems all but certain that the Empire is poised to bring its fist down upon Eorzea. And I would help deflect that blow. But I cannot risk sending reinforcements just yet. We will remain vulnerable to airborne assault until our wall in the burn is in place. We'll get that in place then. Attack our people. The all-important Allegan energy barrier. Yeah. The energy barrier. Yes. I thought to call it something more auspicious. A name drawn for the four lords of legend, perhaps. Sirius Aegis or some such. Well, just a thought. Want to live in an age of legends, do you? The Ironworks engineers report that they have finished calibrating the generators and are ready to proceed to the testing stage. Okay. Have you time to attend the first test? You've seen the field which protected Alice's law firsthand, and I would be interested to hear how you think ours compares. Okay. We can do that. Yeah. We go. Let's go. I will come too, if you don't mind. Though I am no Ishtala, I may be able to offer some insight. You went to school. You just didn't finish. You and Alphino wandered off. Of course. Time being of the essence, it would be best if we made directly for the burn. Yugiri, I leave you and Hakuro to bring the War Council to a close. Look at you all delegating and stuff. Understood. Your mounts are saddled and ready, my lord. Wear the storms. I want the... we'll take the spell speed, I guess? Sure. Since next fight, I will swap to Black Mage because fighting as White Mage in the little cutscenes takes for hacking ever. To be fair, so does Black Mage, as you have seen some of you. Oh, my wrist is itchy. Hian is eager to see the energy barrier in action. Seer, use wall! We will cross the burn by Yol and Falcon as before. Join me at the overlook near the House of the Fierce. Okie dokie. I can do that. Teleport and then fly! Boop 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 boop. Uh-oh. Yawning. Yes, no. Victory music. Oh. I see something entertaining. Okay, one sec. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Alrighty. Flight. We must go up. Whoop. To the overlook. Where is the overlook? This overlook. Yo, we land. Give the word when you are ready to take wing. Head to the burn. Yeah, let's go. Ooh. Like a tundra, but sand. Yep.
It seems the engineers have matters well in hand.
It's kind of their job, dude.
Should the barrier work as we intend, Doma will be free to reinforce her allies in Alamigo without fear of weakening her own borders. Honored friends, the time has come to put your hard work to the test. Start the generator.
Let's go. Do, 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 do.
Node 1 is operational. Nodes 2 to 8 are reporting similar energy levels. The barrier is forming.
Okie dokie, but like how much of the local
1,000 yards. 2,000. 3,000. Expansion remains smooth. No fluctuations detected. $4,000. 5,000. Target altitude reached. The barrier is holding steady at 5,000 yards. We've done it.
Is that an Imperial airship? Of all the rotten timing.
Nuggets.
But this is a gift, Mistress Alize. They can test our new wool for us.
Okay. Oh dear. Bonk. Grayish.
Seems solid enough. Though
Don't
I
be
was
Alpha.
hoping for a fireball.
Okay, but what if that's friends that jacked a ship? Because a lot of our friends are, you know, have a habit of stealing Imperial ships. Friend or enemy? Boots, yes. And Alpha, no! Oh, Nuggets! He's sleepified too.
By the gods. It's Alpha, no. What are you? Let me go! He has my brother!
Lower the barrier!
Oh, yeah, that's not Zorchu. Seems to be good for your health. No one princess carries enemies, I think. Does anyone princess carry their enemies?
Be at ease,
Like,
girl.
fall on the other side of the
The lad
barrier.
is not dead, merely locked in slumber.
Ominous voice.
No, not him too.
Oh, kiddo. Sorry, kiddo. What time is it? Okay. It is 1:20. I will probably stop at like 2-ish.
We could identify no cause and found no remedy. Thus I sought to return him to Doma, and into the arms of Lord Hien himself, it would seem. It is a day for fated reunions. Would you not agree, adventurer? Or should I address you as the Warrior of Light?
Hi. Who are you? Whoa, what? That's Gaius? That's Gaius? What? Holy
Gaius
cow.
van Baelsar, the Black Wolf. That was the title I was given. One I have long since relinquished.
Yo.
Stand down. The legatus of the 14th Imperial Legion died in Castrum Meridianum. I am no more than Gaius Baelsar, a man without rank or allegiance.
Impossible! There's no way you could have survived!
Do you remember how it unfolded?
Pretty sure we blew you up a lot.
How I was deceived by La Habrea? How I was convinced that reviving the Ultima weapon would allow me to bring peace to Eorzea? The Ascian used me, as he used so many others, all to further the restoration of his wretched god. Yet even with the might of Alec at my command, you bested me. And as the Praetorium went up in flames, I was content to burn along with it. For a moment, at least. A moment of folly. To surrender my life thus would have been to betray all who died for my cause. It was for them that I dragged myself free of the rubble, and swore vengeance on the Ascians.
Okay, I can see it.
The Black Wolf has shed his pelt, never to return to Garlemald or her legions. I live now only to exact revenge. My principal quarry was to be La Habrea, whom I gather you have since ushered onto oblivion.
We removed him, yes.
But so many more remain. Long as their kind lurked in the shadows, laboring to sow chaos throughout our world, I would see each and every one dragged into the light and put to the sword. Are the Scions not of like mind?
In a single respect, perhaps.
Then I shall continue the partnership the boy began, and share what intelligence I have acquired. Among the Ascians, the Black-Masked Ilk are subordinate to those who wear red. This you already know. Yet among the Red there exists a hierarchy. Those set adrift with the shards clearly stand below those still joined to the source. Nabriales, who once dared to intrude upon the Rising Stones, belonged to the former group, and while he was indeed a dangerous foe, his powers were inconsequential next to the paragons of the Source. The first was La Habrea, who plagues us no more. There is also the white-robed Elidibus, and the elusive Emmet Selk, about whom little is known.
We have files on La Habrea and Elidibus, but I believe this Emmet Selk is new to us?
I got none.
As I assume my brother told you, we have evidence to suggest that an Ascian now walks in the body of the Crown Prince. Have you identified this interloper?
Elidibus seems the most likely culprit. As emissary, it is his role to maintain the equilibrium between darkness and light. Your many deeds in Hydaelyn's name have upset the balance, and I believe he seeks to restore it by throwing his considerable power behind the Empire. As a leader of the Ascians, he is one of our primary targets. It was on the trail of this very prey that the boy and I came across the scene of a failed uprising. In the absence of a single Garlean casualty, we inspected the bodies of the rebels, and the lack of any external injury drew my immediate attention. They had been slain by Black Rose, an alchemical invention of the Imperial Army. When I yet served as legatus, I ordered its production halted, and all stockpiles destroyed. Toxic gas is not a tool of conquest, but of extermination.
Toxic gas? This must be the new weapon Maxima warned us about. Something deadly enough to sweep away all resistance in a matter of hours. Gods. You don't think they're planning to use this in Alamigo, do you?
Put your fears to rest. We infiltrated the production facility and destroyed all existing stores of the chemical along with the plant itself. Even should they rebuild the operation, they will not soon manufacture another batch.
Thank you. Good job, off-screen adventures.
Regardless, I would draw your attention to a directive we discovered in the plant's records. The document was marked with a recent date and authorized with the signature of one Zeno Galvas.
A dead man signing the death warrant for thousands. 'Tis bad comedy.
Yup.
But the tale does not end there. Within that same facility was a chamber filled with devices of elegant design. Cloning technology, we realized. And what should we find in each and every incubator? But a young Emperor Solus.
That's a lot of Soli.
All of which prompts the question, were the Ascians responsible for these abominations, or was it the will of the Emperor?
You were missing some context,
which
which is
guides
to
the
say...
Empire.
Yes.
Though I have given up my rank, I am yet a son of Garlemald, and I will fight for the future of my homeland.
The Empire rebels against
itself. It is time I return
itself.
to the hunting of shadows. We should focus on our common foe. To reopen old quarrels now would serve no purpose.
Yeah, it's true.
You saved my brother's life, so I'm willing to let sleeping dogs lie. But in truth, it's not my decision to make.
Ain't okay. He's a butt, but whatever. He can have a redemption arc. You're right. There are more important matters at hand.
There was a time when I scorned those who placed their faith in false gods. Even as I, in my blinkered conviction, place mine in Ascian promises. Unlike yours, my strength of will and my restraint was found wanting. We shall meet again, warrior of light.
So that was the infamous Black Wolf. An unexpected ally, to say the least.
Yo. Stuff's getting weird, yo.
Well, I am content to leave the fine-tuning of the barrier to cleverer minds. Let us bid our friends from the Ironworks farewell, and see what can be done for Alphino back in Dorma.
Okie dokie. Who's carrying the boy? Gaius just left. Who's carrying Alphino? I'm not carrying Alphino. I'm like the size of his torso. Oh. Hoy ve. Okay, more cutscenes. Oh my god. 5 million cutscenes. Alphino is safely ensconced in a private chamber. My finest healer is examining him as we speak. I've spoken with the physician, and there are no outward signs of illness. Alphino is lost within his sleep, from which he cannot be woken, just like the others. It seems that even the lands of the Empire were not far away enough to escape that cursed voice. I share your frustration, Alice. I do. But Alphino is returned to us, alive and otherwise unharmed. All that remains is to find the means to wake him. Yeah, seriously. Howie wakey. Until then, you can but fulfill your duties as a scion. Yours and your brother's both. You're right, of course. There are arrangements to be made, and little time to make them. To business then, my lord. Now that we know Seriu's wall works as intended, can we expect reinforcements for Alamigo? You most certainly can. As promised, we will send troops to bolster our allies in Eorzea without delay. Pray be aware, however, that they will not arrive without delay. Save for some few who boast teleportation magics, the bulk of our force must be transported by sea, a lengthy voyage which the smaller vessels favored by the Confederacy are ill-equipped. Can we bring a boat? We have boats. Accordingly, I mean to enlist the assistance of the East Alderney trading company in finding suitable ships. As for navigating the distances in question, we are in the happy position of being able to call upon those who plotted the course of my people's exodus to Eorzea. Beyond the procurement of ships, I think it unlikely that our East Alderney friends will consent to any involvement in military operations, but I am certain they will afford Alphino a berth aboard one of their vessels. I shall have a Terosian accompany him every ilm of the way to the Rising Stones. Thank you. That's pretty good. You have my thanks, Lord Hien. You giddy. I will go on ahead with our friends to Alamigo. Enlist all those capable of teleportation, and put them at the disposal of the Eorzean Alliance as soon as possible. They will form the vanguard. Thank goodness it's not only adventurers who can teleport. Yes, my lord. This is exactly what we'd hoped for. Lace and the Alliance leaders will be glad indeed to welcome the combined strength of the East. Yeah. To friendship. Or something. Phone brother, same thing. Meanwhile, at the Black Rose chemical plant. Yo, they broke that! Can we please leave the gross, like, massacre weapon broken, guys? Thanks. Don't need that plot. No.
Our supplies at Black Rose have been ruined, but the new plant is already under construction. We should have the first batch ready in time for the offensive, Your Radiance.
Big.
See that you do.
Blech. Rude.
Ah, yes, the infamous Black Rose. If I recall correctly, Gaius did not much care for the invention. A ruthless and indiscriminate weapon indeed, this airborne poison. It seems you are capable of making decisions worthy of your bloodline.
With no gift for sorcery, we Garleans must look to Magitech to even the odds. If it spares the needless deaths of our soldiers and serves the cause of this empire, there is no method I would not employ.
How very noble of you. Truly, though, I must commend you for embracing your role as Emperor. You play the part of the determined ruler well. Sometimes even I catch myself believing. A silent agent of death. Now that I think on it, Black Rose may well possess the perfect aspect. Slowly but surely, the deluge of light has worked upon the ether here in the source, and the gas should be most susceptible to its influence. Well, I shall leave you to your own devices. Go forth and bloody the land with your grand and glorious war.
While you do what, precisely?
Good question.
Need you ask? I will be doing what all Ascians do.
I am well aware that your kind exists only to usher in the next calamity. But you seem oblivious to the harm your singular agenda causes to the Empire. You cannot have forgotten the events which followed your mortal demise.
Don't think he cares.
Our homeland was plunged into civil war for your failure to name a successor. The edifice you so carefully constructed was but a hair's breadth from collapse.
Are you truly so naive? You thought me oblivious to the consequences of a departure so painstakingly timed?
It was by design?
Yeah, man. They don't care about you.
Well, of course it was. Though I will admit the resulting panic exceeded even my wildest expectations. But how can you be surprised? Throwing the world into disarray was the very purpose for which this nation was, as you say, so carefully constructed.
Surprise! The face-eating leopard ate your face! Oh no!
Now, if you have no further questions, I must be on my way. Since we may not meet again in this lifetime, it would be remiss of me not to offer a word or two of gratitude. I really must thank you for this surplus of vessels. I can mold any host into my own image, but having bodies tailor-made for me in this fashion is so much less tiresome.
It also keeps you from randomly eating
You dabbled in Allagan cloning techniques, yes? It certainly is a compelling, not to mention entertaining, field of research. And of all the options available, you chose the founding father on whom to experiment. You have a twisted streak to you, Varus. Like grandsire, like grandson, hey?
Oh, jeez.
If events play out as planned, this will become something of a family enterprise. You will be the capstone of this world, I the anchor in the shard, and together we will give the lie to this star's fraudulent existence.
Fraudulent existence? Reality seems pretty real to me. It's full of people. Why are Ascians all loco coco? Don't like it. Don't like it. Seriously. What the heck? By the way, progress has been made upon this unicorn. Well, that sure was a cutscene. So many cutscenes. I think we'll do one more and then I mean, I guess it depends how long it is. We must leave now to convene with Eorzea's leaders, and it may be some time before I return to Doma. I mean, you can teleport, just like zoink back every now and then. Hakuro, I leave you in command.
My lord.
I shall assemble an advance party with all haste and join you in Alamigo forthwith. Yay! I've just received word from Lys. The Alliance has established a base camp near Alamigo's northeastern border. Once we've arrived in the locks, we are to report to a resistance officer stationed in Porta Praetoria, who will point us in the right direction. Let's not keep them waiting. Hucky ducky. I wonder if I should make like an armor look for going to war. Nah. Onwards. Yes. No. Waters. Good boy. Alright, take a sec. Click over. I'm gonna follow this person. Okay. No, I don't need emotes. I need to ride and a friend. Ride like the wind, my friend. Oh, there's another quest somewhere. Well, hello, friendos. So. Ah, you must be the Scion party I was told to look out for. If you'll follow me, I'll take you directly to the Alliance headquarters. Okie dokie, go. More cutscenes. Cutscenes forever. Cutscenes for everyone. Cutscenes for you, and you, and you. Oh, my webcam is like, what are you doing? That's fine, webcam. It's okay. I understand my life choices can be confusing. Hi, Lys. Hi, Raubon. Stuff's getting real.
Welcome back, you two. Greetings, Lord Hien. Glad you could join us.
Hey.
Glad to be here. I would have come sooner, were our own defense is not in question, but I am pleased to report that our soldiers are assembling for deployment to Alamigo as we speak.
Yay.
We're grateful for your support. Thanks to the efforts of our allies, it won't be long before we've established defensive positions on this front as well.
We have some good news too. Alphino has come back to us. As for the bad news...
Like the others.
So, Alphino won't wake up. Gaius van Baelsar is alive and hunting Ascians, and the Empire is planning to poison us all with toxic gas. Does that sound about right? Yeah. Ordinarily, any one of those things would have left me in shock. But the way things have been lately, it's all starting to seem pretty normal. Getting back to your report, are we sure this Black Rose is the weapon Maxima was talking about?
It fits the description. And it seems we have Alphino to thank for sparing us an early demonstration of its effectiveness. I have a feeling this won't be the last time his bravery in the Empire will serve us here in Eorzea.
Think so.
The threat
seriously,
of an
wake up.
unknown weapon has had us all on edge. But now that we know what we're dealing with, we can take steps to defend against it.
Wind magic?
As for Gaius, I'm not sure what to think. Am I happy he's alive? Not in the slightest. Am I happy he's hunting Ascians? Aye, I'd have to say I am.
Oh, speaking of Garleans you didn't expect to see, we have a tale of our own, as it happens. When we sent envoys to the Imperial Army to request talks, they returned with the message that Varys Galvus would be attending.
Who did?
The Emperor himself. Well, Varys did sanction the Popularis peace mission. But knowing that an Ascian walks in his son's skin, I do not see how we can trust him or anyone from that nest of vipers.
The Alliance would proceed with negotiations regardless, if only to give ourselves more time to prepare. We do, however, require your cooperation.
Right. Yes. So, as a condition for the talks to go forward, the Empire has requested that a member of the Scions be present. There'll be a representative from each Alliance nation, of course, but I'm afraid we have to ask that you come along too.
Sure.
Gods, Lise. You know how much I hate politics. But then, what choice do I have? Alphino and the others aren't going to do it.
Yeah. It's like you, me, and Tataru.
Very well. I shall attend as the Scion's representative.
In case you're wondering why I didn't ask you, the Empire also requested the presence of Eorzea's champion.
Well, okie dokie, I'll be there. Ooh,
That's settled
almost
then.
a shadow.
We don't know what Varus means to bring to the table, or why he wants you there, but having you close at hand will make all the difference.
The meeting will take place on the border. Anticipating an early assault, we mean to position the bulk of our forces nearby.
Okay.
The Alliance leaders should already be on their way. Once you're ready, we can head out and join them.
Okie dokie. Weeks. Alrighty. So, talk to Lise. Do the thing. Can I jump? Boing! From the table. Cutscenes on the table are important. Well, I don't suppose it's polite to keep an emperor waiting too long, shall we? I mean, he can bite it. He rude. I guess he's not as rude as his grandpappy, but that's not, like, saying a lot. Blarg. Parley with the Emperor. Yeah. Ominous chairs, ominous chair. Capper. Okay, Mr. Dude. What you gonna tell us with your fancy hat?
Esteemed representatives of the Eorzean Alliance, on behalf of the Gallian Empire, I thank you for inviting me here today. As this parley was convened at your request, I invite you to speak first.
Please don't attack.
Very
It's
well,
rude.
Your Radiance. I, Nanimo Ulnamo, 17th in the line of Ul, should be pleased to oblige you. As recent events in Alamigo and Doma have made plain, the subjugation and exploitation of neighboring nations is not a sustainable policy.
Correct.
Should this day end in war, you may very well defeat us, but you will never extinguish the people's desire for freedom. Though it may not be in our lifetime, there will be another revolution, another war, and the cycle will continue.
I would probably probably work better.
Doma has entered into a concord with the nations of Eorzea, a partnership wherein we recognize one another as equals. Garlemald could be afforded similar treatment. You need only set aside your ambitions and join us in paving a path towards peace.
Come on, how about it?
You will not win me over with sophistry, Your Grace.
Me.
As you know only too well, this alliance lacks the strength to keep the peace within its own borders. Even now, your struggles with the Beastmen continue unabated. Divided, you sow this fertile soil with the seeds of your differences and reap naught but discord and chaos for your trouble. Eorzea must be united under one leader, one purpose. I would offer you both and bring an end to your strife.
No.
With all due respect, Your Radiance, the only thing that you offered the people of Alamigo was fear and hopelessness.
Also, violence.
The citizens of Doma can also attest to the meager arms of Imperial rule. There is no purpose to be found in a life of oppression, each day more uncertain than the last.
Our people are willing to die for their freedom. A great many already have, and countless more will, if we don't put an end to this madness here and now.
Ooh, I'm melting.
We brought order and stability to your lives. This madness and bloodshed is of your own making. You broke the peace, not Garlemald.
Pooper. What? Yo, you brought the violence.
Peace. Order. You kill our peoples, despoil our lands, take everything that is ours. And what? You expect us to lick the boot that grinds our faces into the dirt?
I expect you to weigh the costs. To recognize that countless lives have been lost on both sides in pursuit of a greater good, and to not squander all we have achieved in a fit of petulance.
Holy cow, Noli.
Your Radiance. I fear I can personally attest to the dangers of pursuing one's vision with such righteous fervor. For 1,000 years, the Holy See of Ishgard waged war with dragons.
Yeah, you did. Dragons and drama. That was a whole plotline.
1,000 years of sacrifice, of sorrow and hate, in which we bathed in the blood of friend and foe alike. Had it gone on any longer, we may well have drowned. Yet we have chosen to raise ourselves out of this bloody spiral, and have since made peace with our former enemy.
So I understand. No doubt the dragons were more receptive to your overtures in the wake of their leader's demise. You speak of peace, yet use war to achieve it.
Should we shank
Your
you?
father would not have bothered to obscure his intent with honeyed words. He understood that strength is all that matters in the end.
What was up with Ameryk's dad? I don't remember anymore.
Without his clarity of vision, I can but wonder what will become of Ishgard and her people.
Better than what's
There was a
happening in
time when
Garlemald.
Garlemald too lacked a leader of conviction. Weak and unable to wield magic, we were at the mercy of the strong, from whom we sought refuge in the bitter cold of the north. Were it not for the discovery of ceruleum and the subsequent development of magitech, we might never have gained the power to take back that which was rightfully ours.
upset the storyline.
You speak as if your people were the first to have been driven from their homes. Limsa Lominsa was built by wayward souls in search of a place to call their own. On the shores of Vilbrand we found it, and from those humble beginnings did we grow and flourish. And all without robbing our neighbors of their liberty.
So saith the pirate. Am I to believe that you simply asked the kobolds to yield up their lands and that they were happy to oblige you? That you did not drive them out like rats in the hold of one of the many ships seized by your privateers? I will concede that after centuries of exile, reclamation may be mistaken for invasion. Nevertheless, it is not. And those who till stolen soil have no right to object when cast out in turn.
Are you saying land back? Oh my god.
Your uncompromising nature rivals that of the Ixal. They too lament circumstances which they themselves perpetuate. Were they but to embrace peace, we would welcome them with open arms. Indeed, some few have done just that, and now receive of the 12's Wood's bounty.
Yeah, Bird Village.
Would that your people might learn from their example.
Imperial Beast Tribe win.
You dare compare us to the Birdmen? You who thought to invoke the 12 and threaten all of creation?
You were dropping the moon on the planet, dude. Dude, my good sir.
I came here in the hope of finding some speck of common ground, but I see now these discussions will accomplish nothing.
You came here to talk dirt and spill tea.
Despite what you people may believe, I am not wont to choose the sword over the olive branch. 'Tis but a pity men are loath to accept one without first being shown the other.
Wait! I beg you. This meeting was supposed to be a chance to find a way forward together, not to bemoan the missteps which brought us here.
Oh, I love you, LSA.
Please. If you truly consider violence a last resort, there must be a way we can come to an agreement.
Oh, little shining one.
As Mistress Alisaie says, we did not come here to bicker over the past, but to discuss how we might strive towards a brighter future. Emperor Varys, may I suggest a short recess, that all present might compose themselves prior to beginning anew?
Become less salty. I understand it's hard.
Very well. I pray this intermission will suffice to move these talks in a more constructive direction.
Welp. That was a meeting of awkwardiness. Okay, Alisaie. If you need a pep talk, you're doing very good. Little miss, I can't politics. You're doing good. Like, you may not be comfy, but you're doing a good job, in my opinion. After his Radiance's little performance, it was all I could do not to swear at him. I honestly don't know how I ended up playing the mediator. Fair enough. I just asked myself what Alphinaud would have done, tried my best to do the same, and by some miracle, it worked. But there really is no common ground to be found with that man, nor do I think he looked for any. So the question becomes, what did he come here to do? Because you may be certain it wasn't to make peace. I think he's just stalling us while they make more doom juice in the factory. Whatever it is, I can't make it out. Not yet, at least. We do have a little time before the parley is due to reconvene, though, so why not try consulting our illustrious leaders? Maybe they have some insight to share. Nope. Konnichiwa. I do much wonder at Emperor Varus's decision to attend these negotiations. It is plain he has no intention of hearkening to our entreaties. What then is his goal? Trouble. Capital T that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool! I will say one thing for this Varus. He is well versed in Eorzean history. His interest in our affairs is that of a beast in its prey. The conqueror would know his enemies. All should know their enemies. Yet there is much and more we do not know of the Empire. Then it's up to us to change that, here and now. Ha! He would have me ask the Emperor himself. Well, mayhap there is some wisdom in that. Give me knowledge. If we can skirt the storm of his displeasure, we may yet come to our answers, even if it does mean sailing close to the wind. Hey, Emmerich. Whatever rebuttal I had in mind was lost when Varus mentioned my father. The man is certainly skilled at keeping his opponents off balance. Yeah. This parley was never like to bring peace, but I had hoped to learn something of Emperor Varus's relationship with the Asians. I'd just be like, yo, how do you feel about the Asians? As had we all, yet if he is in league with them, he is not like to venture the fact, and if he is not, how much weaker would his position seem for their presence? If we are to broach that particular subject, we will need to be subtle. Would that I knew more of the man, if you would indulge me. Lord Yan, you received an imperial education, did you not? Is it true that the Emperor's will is considered absolute? Okay. There is no higher authority in all of Garlemald, nor else in the heavens. Come to that. Veneration of the gods is forbidden. The only worship permitted being that of his radiance's own person. Are the Asians trying to make the Emperor into, like, a primal? I mean, they did that with Shiva, so... What? What? That sounds suspiciously like a religion in itself. I share your disdain for the hypocrisy. Even as they denigrate the idea of faith, they revere their leader with a fervor others reserve for the divine. Boop, boop. Boop. 'Tis a flaw common to much of the doctrine they fed us. Logical on the surface, perhaps, but contradictory upon closer examination. I wonder if a discussion of the various discrepancies might prompt Varus to reveal something. Good question. Hey, Rabban! Varus holds fast to his ideals just as I knew he would. He will not be swayed from this path. He stayed in the group properly. Lise, why do I get the feeling the Emperor is hiding something? 12, have mercy. But for Lady Alisaie's timely intervention, we might have come to blows at the negotiating table. Not that Emperor Varus left us a great many options. Is unconditional surrender all he will accept, do you think? I don't know. He's a grumpus. Ere he arrived, I'd have said yes. But having heard him speak, I cannot help but think he came with some other end in mind. Oh, it's because his boss wants war. Ooh. Thank you for tuning in. We'll finish up. Exactly. He's building up to something. I know it. How then shall we approach the rest of the parley? Have you anything to say, warrior of light? Make him talkie? Yeah, make the talkie. Tell us things. You believe he's more apt to reveal the truth if we put him at his ease. Mayhap you are right. Thank you, Jacobi. Okay. We reconvene. You've spoken with everyone then? Good. Now all that remains is to await the pleasure of the Emperor and hope we fare better at the second attempt. Right.
Now then, who would have the floor?
How about you?
Before we resume, I wish to offer you an apology. After you graciously accepted our invitation to discuss an armistice, we have done naught but rebuke you at every opportunity. I believe I speak for all of us when I say we are deeply sorry for our discourtesy.
I'll admit your familiarity with our affairs surprised me, and served to remind me how little I know of yours.
I think all here can understand the desire to reclaim one's homeland. But why expand further? That is my question.
If I may, the answer can be found in the Imperial doctrine they took great pains to impart to my people. Recognizing the threat icons posed to the world, Solus Zos Galvus decreed that they were to be eradicated. To this end, he began a campaign to unite all lands under the Garlean banner. Or so we were taught. Yet the Emperor only reached the burn, the Baron said to have been laid waste by icons, after conquering all the lands that lay between. What is more, I am quite certain the practice of summoning was not nearly so widespread in the days before the Empire's founding.
When you put it like that, it all starts to sound like an excuse, doesn't it? But to distract from what? Why are you really waging this war?
Finally, you ask the right question. I can but hope you heed mine answer and at last accept the righteousness of our cause.
Thunder in the background, IRL.
My goal is this: to return the world to the way it once was, the way it was always meant to be. In doing so, mankind will be made whole once more.
What? You're gonna have to explain more than that.
No longer will we suffer from the dissension born of our differences. There will be but one race, a perfect race, as we were when time began.
What in Rulga's name are you talking about?
What I'm hearing is we will no longer have talls and smalls, and I cannot stand for that.
I am talking about the origins of this star, of the source and its 13 reflections.
Plot dump?
At the instant of the great sundering, 'twas not only the world that was shattered, but mankind itself. Thus were we divided into myriad races, each with its own unique imperfections.
What?
That is why man looks upon his neighbor and feels fear and hatred. Why he wages war. Why he kills his brother. You all in your own way have proven as much today. The peace you seek is but a fleeting solution to a fundamental problem. One which calls for more drastic measures. To bring about everlasting peace, our worlds must be rejoined.
Okay, but you're gonna kill everybody who exists.
That is the goal the Empire would see realized. The glorious future unto which we shall one day shepherd mankind.
A rejoining of worlds?
I have heard this tale of the Source and its reflections before.
Oh, yeah,
are these not the self-same desires as the Ascians?
Emperor Varys, do not trust in their words. They will lead you to your doom. My father thought to use them, but in the end he succumbed to their temptations. He embraced summoning like so many other pawns before him. Do not tell us you mean to do the same.
To be a pawn, free from the burden of choice, would be a blessing. But I forswore that privilege the day I learned that the Gallian Empire was built by the hand of an Ascian.
What?
Awkward.
Yes. My grandsire, the former emperor, is of their number. And who better to build an empire capable of bringing about the calamitous change we desire? Would you condemn me for this alliance? For bowing to the will of these shadowy masters, when the prize is true and lasting peace?
Is it really, though? Pretty sure they're lying, too. Your prize is a lie. Your masters.
I come not to conquer, but to liberate. To free man from the prison of divergence.
Imagine a world united. One perfect race beneath a single standard.
Sounds dull.
An army before whose might these servants of darkness and light would fly as leaves in a storm, never again to meddle in man's affairs. We would be the masters of our own fate.
Pretty sure we wouldn't exist, Mr. D, bro.
Not as subjects of Garlemald, but of a new nation. And together we shall win freedom for ourselves and generations yet unborn.
From what?
You want to trigger another half-dozen calamities? You can't be serious!
Have you forgotten how many died? There will be no one left.
Yep.
Do you truly imagine we would aid you in your bloodletting?
It is unthinkable, unconscionable.
Look, they blew the world up once. Can we not let them blow them up? Oh, wait, no, sorry. If by once I mean 7 times.
And what is the alternative? To be as cattle waiting for slaughter? I would have us work together, that we might take fate into our own hands.
But you're not. You're just trying to do what they want.
Into your hands, perhaps. But what of the other worlds, your radiance? With every calamity, you obliterate a star and every soul that dwells on it.
Yep, it's a problem.
To the Ascians, we are all but tiny, momentary specks within an indifferent universe. We cannot hope to oppose them until we have been made whole once more.
Yo, dude, we've been shanking them! Repeatedly. Like, could you, like, focus?
Are these truly the words of Garlemald's ruler? The flaws and foibles which you so abhor are what make us who we are. Every nation, even yours, Emperor Varys, is made whole through the combination of these imperfections, the strengths of one compensating for the weaknesses of another. While it is true that man succumbs all too often to anger and avarice, he may yet overcome his baser instincts through the forming of bonds with others, fostering community and cooperation. That the protector of an empire should not only reject these fundamental truths, but seek to change them at so dear a cost to life is indefensible. Such a man is not fit to govern.
Yeah. Mic drop.
And you, warrior of light, would you refuse me as well?
I already did, dude. We can defeat the Ascians as we are. We has already done this several times. Boop. Like, did you not notice?
It would seem the Alliance is of one mind on this matter.
You Eorzeans never cease to disappoint me. Though I suppose I have only myself to blame for expecting more from savages. This discussion is at an end. I bid you make ready for our next meeting. It will not be at the negotiating table.
Okay. That was a lot. I came back to find Derma's advance party ready and waiting for battle. So as worrying as our little chat with the Emperor was, it did buy enough time for at least some of our allies to arrive. Shakshuka. Shakshuka. It is. Okay, actually, we are going to call it for the day because, oh my god, ow, 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 I'm so stiff. My scar tissues have set up. Alright, 2 hours of streaming down. Thank you for everyone who watched. And I hope you